Hello and welcome to a tutorial with Adobe Lightroom Classic. I will also be doing Lightroom and Photoshop. So I'm right here. I'm going to pop up Lightroom Classic. And we're just going to start off by going over the basics of everything. I get a nice blue mouse for you to see. Go to the top. Have all the photos. Let's go to all photographs. Actually, let's go to synced. That number is going to boost right on up. Everything's going to load my catalog. First thing off the bat, what's going to happen is you're going to have a new catalog. This is basically a storage system, like an auto-saved feature for Lightroom Classic. You're going to have to create one. Title it what you will, but know that in the future, anything besides that, any pictures, as you can see right here, Lightroom is very fussy. Photo is missing, not synced, don't know where it is. But anyways, we're going to go over just the basics. Let me move my camera. There we go. Starting on the left-hand side of this, we have my name. You can actually customize this font, shape, type, whatever you want, you can customize it. The little drop-down menu will have stuff like syncing, loading. When we import some photos, you'll see it all up here in this left-hand corner. Going across to the right side on that top bar, we have the library, the develop, the map, book, slideshow, print, and web, and this neat little cloud over here for, you guessed it, cloud storage. So we're only going to go through these one at a time. Today, we will only probably cover the library and the develop map. We can also take a look into, I haven't used it in a while, but we'll go over those in due time. Starting on the left-hand side again, we have our navigator. This will just show the image that we have selected, and double-clicking on any image will bring us back to our library. So I can click on this, you can see it's highlighted. I double click and it pulls the image up. I double click, I come out. You'll see all your images here. You get the views. That left side is the full image, so we know which one we're actually going to be on. Below that is our catalogs. So all photographs is every single photo in your library, everything, all of it. Below that is the all synced. That will be the photos that you drop in here that will sync up to your cloud. You'll get error messages for ones that have errors, obviously, can't be found, and all that. Quick collections, and this tells you all the photos that you've previously imported. Lightroom, Photoshop, the other Lightroom, has a similar feature, but it does it more an hour ago, 2 hours ago, 5 hours ago, 24 hours ago. And you can always close that if you don't like it. Below that are your folders. Now, this is where having a filing system comes in handy and is very, very important. Mainly because Lightroom, as I've said, is very temperamental. That if you were to move a photo in here to a different folder, you're going to get all these messages, and it wants to know what to do. Are we moving the entire file? Are we just moving it inside the catalog? Are we deleting the photo entirely? Are we going to implode in ourselves? Yes, we are. Lightroom is very picky. So what I suggest is in your folders where you store your pictures, you label them. As you can see here, these ones don't have a place or date or anything specific. There was nothing specific. But if you come down here, you can see egret chicks with the dates. Egret chicks with the dates. Egret with that. And it's all labeled out correctly. Filing here is the most important. It will save your life. You will also see what hard drive or what thumb drive or whatever you have in here is selected. So the green light means go. You will have times where it will say yellow or red, or this one has nothing. It's not plugged in. In Lightroom, as I said, it's temperamental. It doesn't like this. It wants to know where all this stuff is. I couldn't tell you. So anyways, when we got my phone, we have my other laptop, and we have an unknown thumb drive, which I've imported pictures from. If we scroll down further, sticking to the left-hand side, we have collections. The collections is more of, I want my filing system of reds, the greens and stuff, all the pictures that I've approved, I can put them in a quick collection. So I can go down here and go wildlife. Okay, so I got birds. Well, these are all the ones that I approved. And then from here, it'd be simpler to find and pick out what you need. Print. Oh, hey, I want to put something in a quick collection because I know I need to print it, but I still have 10 other photos I need to go through. Well, I'm going to add it to a quick collection. So I can come down here, have all the photos that I've selected, and I can just go boom and print them and open the print tab, and it will all just come down in our little film strip. After collections is just a publish service. This is just if you have like stock or something else. But that will lead into our film strip. Yay. Our film strip is this bar at the bottom, just like 35mm film. It is all your photos. And you will see that on them, it tells you what number photo it is. That's always a good, helpful thing to have. There's a tag next to it for the icon. Here you can see I've tagged it. I've put, when I've imported it, I've put keywords to it. The next one is, you can see that it's in my collection, actually the one I just showed. And this is, I edited. I made the adjustments to make it look the way it was. So that's the film strip. Down here, we have just a little whole bunch of bars, stuff. It tells you the folders. It tells you what's selected. You can always go through and kind of do more stuff that we'll get into later. Right now, we're just going to go over the basics. The thumbnails, you can make them bigger, smaller. The default size is perfectly fine. Don't need anything particular. Here, you can do what you want on this gray bar. So as you get through here and you hear more and more, you'll probably hear me say, label, 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 and have a system to that labeling. So for instance, I'll import some photos and I'll show you how to delete them after and all that. But always have that filing system. So when you import them, okay, go through here and just next photo, next photo, next photo, and just mark them red. Just use the red. You can use red. You can use 1 stars. Have your system, and just go through. Okay, that's red. That's red. That's red. Then after you get through all your photos, okay, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna make it so up here in this top bar we have the filters. We can put on filters. We can lock them. We can go to the attributes, and I can hit the red, and it will show me all my red photos. Now what I'll do is I'll go through there and I'll actually start working on them. I'll crop them. I'll do Lightroom adjustments like, oh, this one's too dark. I'm gonna make it brighter. This one's too bright. I'll make it a little bit darker. I'll add contrast. Then I'll move over and I'll have my yellows. I'll mark them yellow when I'm done working on them. And then from there to green, and it gets slower and slower and slower. And right here, I cut off on green. Nothing in this folder is marked blue or purple. Blue for me is it's done. Nothing else needs to be done. Purple is my favorite. I marked the purple is my favorite. You can flag ones, good or bad. So I can come here and I go, okay, I don't like this one. Oh, it's a rejected photo. I can just show all the rejected photos. On the right side, so let's just click on this photo. On the right hand side now, we have our histogram, which shows us our picture. If you hit the left and right arrow key, you'll actually move photo to photo. So we have our photo. Here's our histogram. It shows us all our colors. It tells us all the camera information of how it was shot. This is a raw file. So as you can see, it has the file name here. You'll see this is a copy of the first one that we saw. It has all of the same information about the photo. Below that is the quick develop tab. I personally don't use this, but if you have presets, they're here. Your basic generic presets that Adobe comes with are all here. White balance, you can do all your quick adjustments. Simple. I don't highly recommend using it. I personally don't, but it's up to you. Keywording. So below this is the keyword list. This is what I've gone through here, and I've done bird photography. I've done egret. I've done documentary, and I have it labeled. And you have all your tags you've ever used. Like right here, nature, 5,237. It boom tells me how many are tagged that way. Tagging your photos on import can save you. It can save you when you're working a job or you're with a client and they go, oh, hey, I need a picture of, a dog. Do you have any pictures in that? Oh, yeah. I got those pictures. Well, now you're sitting there going through 5,000, 6,000. How many photos are all in here? My synced here, all photographed. 6,000. So you say you're going through 6,000. You're going to sit there looking for a dog? No. Keyword it. But here you can add tags. You can do all that. Below that is just the metadata. This is just the information for your picture. So when I imported it, I also imported the copyright. I had my own copyright, which we'll get to soon. It tells you the folder, which is always important to know. Sidecar file, the XMP, the Lightroom adjustments. The ratings. So the one thing you need to know about the rating system. If you sync these photos up with Lightroom, the color codes do not go with it. The star ratings go with it. The colors do not. If I move, hey, look at that. I'll be there for a change. Behind that, we have just basic other information, type of camera, focal length, all that, dimensions, cropped, blah, 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 blah. Comments, I don't have any comments for this. If I go to this folder, and I believe it might be at the bottom. I think, I don't even, oh, right here. There it is. Comments, did I put the comments here? Did I know was it with this bug? There was a bug I did. I don't remember, it was a while ago. And I changed the name of it, which you can also do here. Change the file name. Just because I didn't know what bug it was. Long time. Besides that, that pretty much covers everything in the library. This is the main, let's look around, let's do some stuff, let's go through our photos. If you click on a photo, let's use a spider. You click on a photo, you see in the bottom left, next to the stars and the flags, I flagged it as a pick. I picked it. I took it, and I flag them once I've exported them, so I know which ones I've exported. Here, more or less, is when you go through, it more or less tells you the stars. It tells you what you're doing. You can also do more than one. So if I just go through, look, now I can go, okay, out of these 3 photos, I like this one and this one. This one, get rid of it. Okay, so now I'm going to go through. Let's see. I see I marked this one 1 star. I marked this 1 star. And they're both blue. Okay, I like, I think, say I like that one better. So I'll nix it. Look, I get it. This is more of a comparison view. Your generic comparison view brings you back. Thumbnails again. Now, something else that's good to know is anywhere in this gray area, anywhere in this gray little area, if you right click, you can change the background. You change your little mat to what you like. Okay, if I move on, we'll move on to importing. How about that? Or actually, you know what? Let's go to the develop tab. Just quickly in general, not really go over too much. Again, have all your same information on the left-hand side. On the right-hand side, we now have all these tabs. The basic is just your basic adjustments. It's highlights, shadows, whites, blacks, and your contrast. You have your textures, your clarity, and your dehaze, but depending on your photo, I would be cautious because it adds noise in to your photo. So that you always have to be slightly cautious with. But this is just your basic adjustments. Everybody should be understanding those. Your tone curve is your curve adjustment. Your coloring. In this one, they're all in separate tabs. Your luminance, your saturation you use, they're all in separate. All is good, but to me, this just seems like a hassle to have to try to fit all of these on one screen. But to each his own. Color grading is actually a new thing I've actually seen here. And what this is just going to do is you're going to color grade your photo. So let's stick with the orange. And then let's go with the, yeah, let's go orange. Then with the highlights, maybe go blue. And basically you're just going to go through and do it. That's all that is. By double clicking on something, it will reset it. The details tab. Now, I've come across these new programs in the bottom left. On the bottom of my toolbar, you might see it says GDS. These are by Topaz Labs. I've actually been really enjoying them. They've done a much better job than Lightroom from what I'm finding. So use the sharpening and the noise reduction with caution. Lens correction. This will simply just correct any changes in your lens. If you use like a Nikon 24-70 and you're shooting at 24, this tends to help fix your glasses bow in the picture. You just click it, it would just fix it. This was shot on a macro lens, so there's not really much to do. Transform, this will just rotate and you're gonna be like, oh hey, let's get the spider looking weird. Anyways, enough of my fun. The effects can add some vignette, depending on real creepy. Ooh, look at that. And calibrations. This tab is sort of like another color grading tool in fixing up images for a final touch. If we go back up to the top, you'll see these tools right here below your histogram, right where it says original photo on the right hand side. You have your crop tool, which I don't think needs much explaining, is a crop tool. This little thing, the spot removal. Do I have any? Yeah, well, is that right here? I just have to click and I can just go, oh, okay, hey, it'll randomly find one spot for me. Usually Lightroom's doing very good lately in how they find it. But say you didn't like this spot, I can go and maybe down here, find a spot. Okay. And then just click done right on your color tier tab bar and it will fix it. If you go back and click it, you'll always see what you did and it'll point to that spot. If you don't want it there anymore, you right click and you can delete, clone and heal. But next to that is your red eye, which I obviously don't have any because it's, well, a spider and no flash. Your gradient tool. So if I just click on there and I pull down. Oh, by the way, on that same bar with your colors, it will say show selected mask overlay. Click it, and now it's red. So what it's doing is showing where your mask is. So if I do one from here, I just, bump it up. Now it's showing you that gradient. And I can go in here and I can go and just change this half. Just, weird stuff. And just click done when you're done. Next to that, your radial filter and your adjustment brush. These two are good. Oh, let's back out a bit. So how I did that was on PC, if you hit control, you get this nice magnifying glass with a little thing, and I just drew a box and it pushed me in. To back out, I just hit control minus. Control plus goes forward, control minus goes back. Hotkeys are everything. Anyways, back to the brush. So I'm gonna click the brush, and now I have this thing. If I scroll on a mouse, I can make it bigger or I can make it smaller. And then what I'm gonna do, oh, I can't see it. What do? I go down to show selected mask overlay. And now it's gonna show me where I need to paint, and I'm painting, and now it's all red. I want to see my adjustments, so I'm going to unclick that, and I'm going to go over here. I'm going to make my adjustments and fix it up. I'll hit done. But say I didn't like that. Well, I could go here, and I can go here, and I can right click, and I can delete. Or I can take you to the left side underneath the picture of me. Right where you have your presets, all your wonderful little, let's change them up kind of things. Your LUTs, your filters. You have your snapshots, which we'll get to in due time. You have your history. Now, this will show you every single adjustment that you've done. And by how much too, which is always a great thing to know. Well, I want to undo that, and I want to go all the way back to spot removal. Let's go to calibrate hue. Okay, lens profile, enable lens profile. Okay. So now, if I don't like that, I can go back. And it's a nice, easy way to see. So I can just leave it there and be done. So how do you import photos? I'm so glad you asked. Down on the left-hand side, underneath all those wonderful photos, import, export. Export, we're not going to worry about today because we're not going to export any photos. Import, on the other hand, you're simply just going to click. So we hit the import button and it pulls up this screen. Put that down there. Now, here you have your select your source. You have copy as DNG, copy, move, or add. And below, it'll always tell you really what it's doing. And then you have to my catalog, file handling, all this stuff. Well, we can get to right now, actually, might as well. So file handling, it's more or less just as, hey, how should we do this? Should we build a smart preview? Should we go straight to a collection? Or what's going on? The only thing I would say, more or less, for this file handling is click don't import duplicates, because you will get lost saying you just edited something and realizing you didn't. Below that is your import settings. So we have the develop settings, which I don't know why you'd really want to do this right from the get-go, but it's an option that Adobe has made. We have just your black and white and all those other filters. That's what develop settings are. Your metadata is your copyright information. So right here, I have a few different presets. When we import something, we'll go through that, and we have our keywords. On the left-hand side, you will see every hard drive or source that Lightroom can detect. If you had a thumb drive in, it would detect a thumb drive. So right here in this, but we're going to go to, let's go to new. Oh, do I not have that? Did I not do that? I don't think I did. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. Okay. We'll go to. I'll click on this folder, and now it will bring up all the pictures in that photo. And you see how some are checked, some are not. This is a suspected duplicate. Everything else, oh, that one's also a duplicate, but it's a different file name. It really only recognizes file names. So we'll go through and it'll check off all of them. Again, thumbnails, all that. All photos, new photos. You can just see the new ones. Uncheck them all, check them. Same down here with the views, same as your Lightroom library. Check all, uncheck all. We're going to check, uncheck all. And I only want to import a few select ones. So let's just go through and boom, boom, boom. Here, we'll do these two. Oh, you know what? We'll do this one and we'll do this one. So I have two different photos here. Over here in the keywords, I can group tag them if I want here. More or less, actually, do I want? Here, I'll show you how to edit one photo. Here in the keywords, I will put in Fort, comma, Canon, Lark. Let's do LARP. I don't particularly, I mean, I guess I consider that LARP here. Let's just do Canon. I don't know if that would be LARP. And instead of nature, I want that preset, but I can come down here where it says new or edit. And we're going to click new. Your preset name is what you're going to title is what's going to show over here in your metadata. So this is the name. So when you saw nature, Radial photography, that is what will appear over here. Just leave it to custom. You can see all those. You can actually edit them and all that. Basic info. Fill it out. Put the name, caption, whatever. You can do that here. You can do 10,000 different ones you want. You can just check the box, uncheck the box. Camera info. More and more cameras nowadays are actually having geotag on them. So you don't have to have this. This is just extra information that's not needed. Here, not really that important, but it'll always be there. Your copyright, also very important. Copyright, leave your name. So I'd put Rory Stell, Rory Show Photography. Copyright status. So you have three different. Unknown is just no one, you're really not sure of how things go. Copyrighted would be things that you have wrote, copied in some sort or way. Public domain would be your Creative Commons type copyright status. So anyone can download it, anyone can use it. You can make your own terms of agreement. So say you wanted to do the public domain. Well, you say, oh, well, it can only be used for this, 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 and this. And I need to see every image that it's ever used with. Okay, fine, great, wonderful. Put it in there. Now you have that as the terms of agreement for using your artwork. Now, Lightroom just does not do pictures. You can do drawings. You can do videos as well. Copyright info URL. So if you have a portfolio that you want to link, you can put this into the copyright information unless you have a PDF of more copyright terms than can fit. Creator, you put your name as a creator. If you're working as a team, you can put the team's name in here. And then just the other basic information of contacts, how to find. Here's the website. You have a job title, phone number if you want people to reach you about your images. Again, simple information, just have to go through. 9 times out of 10, you're only going to use so much. With the video, this information could be useful depending on the project you're doing. So say you're working on a short film, an independent film, this is great information. It 9 times out of 10 doesn't change in a short film production. It doesn't. But it's all good. It's always good to metadata your stuff, even if you think you're not sure about it. Keywords, basic again, keywords for everything. So whenever you use this metadata preset, whenever you use this copyright preset, that is what's going to stick to this preset. And you can always delete it. But I'm going to cancel. And I'm going to hit the photography one. I got 4 in Canon. Down here below my video, we have done, import, cancel. You want to click import. And now I have it on add. So I'm going to add the photos to my Lightroom catalog without moving them from their current file location. Moving them would move them to an entirely different folder that Lightroom will create. Actually, would move it over there, but that's so I'm going to click import, and in the top left, you start, it says import file at the current destination. Okay, here we have the previously imported one. So I'm going to click on it. And I'm like, okay, looks pretty good. That looks pretty good, but let's go into the develop. I don't need to tag it because it's all by its lonesome. So we're gonna go, oh, okay, this needs something quick on it. You can hit auto. It's a hit and miss. It's a great starting point, but it wouldn't be the best. So say we just go through and we, fix it up, blah, 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 blah. Okay, well, hey, let's tag this. Let's put this somewhere. So it's going to pull up literally a map. And I'm going to go, okay, I know where this photo is taken. I can type it in, or we can look it up this way. So here's Fort McClary. And Fort McClary. Thank you. Fort McClary. Wow, okay. And I'm just clicking on the picture. I'm dragging. And I'm going to go right over Fort McClary and I'm going to drop it. Now we have the yellow marker. And if I zoom out, okay, well, it shows me, boom. So if I'm way out here, because I currently live in Florida, I moved from New England. So all my New England photos need to be tagged still. I got a brand new Lightroom catalog. Now, when you have a new catalog, the other one stays as it is. It doesn't transfer over. You can transfer files. That's true. There's a way to do that. But when your file is corrupt, which is a different story entirely, you got to start over. So it's here on the right-hand side. It says, country code US. It has your GPS coordinates for the file that I just tagged. Well, if I'm way out here and I want a photo in here, I can click and go, okay, now I know where that photo is taken. And I can zoom in and it will show me. If I had more, I could show you more, but I don't. So go to Lightroom, previously imported. Right down here. I'm going to right click. Now there's many, many, many different options. But the only one we're going to focus on right now is remove. And you'll get this thing, this little warning. This photo will be removed from the Lightroom catalog, but the folder and files will remain on disk. This remove is the delete button for Lightroom. Now, if you just take this and you move the file from your actual file or do something with it, you'll get tons of warnings. If you try to just delete it with the delete key, Lightroom doesn't like that. We'll hit remove. Top right-hand corner above me, and it's gone. Boom, it's gone. That is all we're going to cover today. Now, when you exit, you're going to hit the little thing and you're going to say yes. It's going to show this up. It's called Backup Catalog. Now, it may be when you first get it, you first open it up, it may say just this time. And what happens is the first time you go on to Lightroom and you close it, it'll back up your catalog. So everything, it's kind of like its save feature. Everything here will be saved. It'll be checked. It'll check for integrity to make sure it's holding up right, all that good stuff. But it'll only do it once. Now, I recommend that you go and you select every time Lightroom exits. So every time it exits, it has to do this. Why? Because I've had catalog on top of catalog be destroyed on me from being corrupted or hard drive failing or this or that. Or it's nice to have it because you'll always have an extra copy from the last time it backed up. So if I go in next time and I have an issue, I just go back to the catalog. I look for the earliest one that was the last one that was saved, and I can start from that one. So instead of losing all that progress I made for the rest of the day, I only make it, I just lose it from the last time I used it. And just to make sure test integrity is checked and optimize is checked. That's good. And I will just have the backup folder where my Lightroom folder is. So I'll hit skip this time today because I already did it right before I made this video because I needed to make sure everything worked. And until next time, we're going to go over more Lightroom. And then after that Lightroom, we're going to Photoshop. So see you then.